On November 9th, the world got two images that nobody was prepared for. The James Webb Telescope and the Virtual Telescope Project unveiled the newest photographs of the interstellar object called 3E Atlas. And what they showed has rendered scientists speechless. In these images, the object looked like a compact, brilliant point of light without even the slightest hint of a tail, no sign of outgassing, no cloud of dust or gas, nothing that ought to accompany an object shedding billions of tons of material close to the sun. But here's the most disturbing part. It appears exactly as it did back in July when the Hubble Space Telescope last captured it. For an object that should have shed more than 5 billion tons of mass already due to solar heating, its unchanged look is a cosmic affront to every known law of cometary physics. To some, it's merely an anomaly. To others, it's something much larger. Harvard astrophysicist Avi Loeb labels it a wake-up call from the cosmos. Because if these images are what they seem, a body speeding through the solar system without expelling anything, then 3E Atlas might not be a comet at all. It might be something constructed. It all started when astronomers spotted something odd in late October. As 3E Atlas neared its closest point to the sun, its perihelion, the object started to accelerate, not decelerate. This is unfeasible. According to NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory, Atlas strayed from its expected orbit by 4 arcsec, a small angle that at 203 million kilometers distance amounts to a shift of tens of thousands of kilometers. Something massive was nudging it off course. The calculations astonished mission analysts. The object was accelerating outward from the sun at 0.22 millimeters per second squared, while drifting sideways at almost the same rate in just 1 month. That's a displacement exceeding 80 kilometers, way too large for random fluctuations. The question rippled through every observatory from Hawaii to Chile. What unseen force was guiding this object? The typical explanation, outgassing, didn't hold. To generate that thrust, Atlas would need to vent at least 1/16 of its total mass, equal to 5 billion tons of vaporized gas, creating a blinding halo visible even in small backyard telescopes. But the sky stayed clear. There was no cloud, no tail, no vapor, nothing. To grasp how ridiculous this is, the Virtual Telescope Project shared a side-by-side comparison between 3E Atlas and Comet Lemon, a totally ordinary comet imaged under the same conditions just days before. Lemon acted as anticipated, a radiant, ghostly tail flowing away from the sun, flawlessly shaped by solar radiation. But Atlas remained just a dot, sharp, compact, unblemished. It was like comparing a living organism to a statue. One emitting motion and energy, the other frozen and quiet. For Atlas to accelerate without creating debris is like seeing a rocket soar without exhaust. The physics don't merely fail, they crumble. When Loeb ran the numbers, he discovered that if the acceleration were truly cometary, the outflowing gases would produce a glow brighter than the full moon. And yet, the images from November 5th display nothing like that. The object's magnitude, its color, and its symmetry all stay eerily steady. The Virtual Telescope's director, Gianluca Massi, termed it the most perplexing observation I've ever made. Because even instruments built to spot faint dust traces return the same result, 0. When the data arrived at Harvard, Loeb and his team started rebuilding the physics behind the acceleration. Using Atlas's estimated mass of 33 billion tons, nearly 1 million times heavier than Oumuamua, they determined no known natural process could explain the force on it. Solar radiation pressure was too feeble. Outgassing was undetectable. Gravitational pulls from planets were impossible at that range. That left one choice, an unknown mechanism. We must accept what the data shows us, Loeb said. If the physics falters, the theory must adjust. But few were prepared to adjust to the implications. The truth was too weighty, because the figures didn't just outline motion. They outlined intention. The acceleration wasn't haphazard. It was smooth, consistent, perfectly synced with the sun's position, as if someone or something had tuned it. The last time we witnessed behavior even vaguely similar was with Oumuamua. But this time, the effect was stronger, quicker, and much more purposeful. As data streamed in from telescopes worldwide, a pattern started to form. 3 Atlas wasn't violating just one rule. It was violating all of them. Its orbit aligned almost perfectly with the ecliptic plane within 5 degrees of the path taken by Earth and the other planets. A coincidence so unlikely that Loeb called it like hitting a cosmic bullseye in utter darkness. Then came the jet anomaly, a burst of material that fired straight toward the sun, the reverse of what any comet does. Normally, solar radiation drives dust away from the sun, shaping tails that always point outward. But Atlas defied even that, as though repelling sunlight itself. Its speed was another impossibility, faster than smaller, lighter bodies like Oumuamua and Borisov, even though its mass should render it sluggish, and its brightness curve defied reason. As it approached the sun, it brightened at a rate of -7, twice the intensity of any known comet. Then came a color blue, not icy white, not fiery red, but an electric spectral blue, hotter than the sun's own photosphere. Its surface temperature appeared to surpass 5,800 Kelvin, a feat no natural object can manage without vaporizing. By now, astronomers weren't just puzzled, they were concerned. Because if 3 Atlas isn't adhering to celestial mechanics rules, then it's adhering to something else. Perhaps a command. Spectroscopic scans from James Webb and ground-based observatories uncovered something even odder. The object's makeup. Unlike natural comets, which feature random blends of rock, ice, and minerals, Atlas showed a precise nickel-to-iron ratio, the same found in engineered high-temperature alloys for spacecraft and jet engines. In nature, metals mix chaotically, but Atlas's metals were balanced, refined, and structured. It also held only 4% water, making it drier than Earth's driest deserts. Not the dirty snowball we anticipate, but a form that seems forged, not frozen. Some scientists now think the outer shell may not be natural whatsoever. It could be a ceramic or composite layer, heat-resistant and polished, explaining why it reflects light so cleanly without cracks or irregularities. That reflection yields an unprecedented polarization signature. Light waves aligned with mathematical exactness, something never observed in a natural body. As Loeb said, if you designed a probe to endure a billion-year galactic journey, it would resemble this exactly. And then came the revelation that shocked even skeptics. When researchers mapped 3I Atlas's trajectory, they saw its path cross the orbits of Mars, Venus, and Jupiter, but not Earth. Its timing was impeccable. During perihelion, when it should have been nearest Earth and simplest to observe, it positioned itself behind the sun instead, concealed from our tools. This alignment is so statistically unlikely that some astrophysicists now deem it no coincidence. This isn't random, one JPL analyst stated. It's intentional navigation. The notion sounds crazy until you examine the math. The orbit is so exact that if traced backward, it directs straight toward the sky region from which the 1977 WOW signal came. A narrowband radio burst SETI has pursued for decades. 2 events decades apart from identical cosmic coordinates. Coincidence, perhaps, but as data piled up, perhaps started sounding much like denial. Every fresh image from the Virtual Telescope project only intensified the mystery. 3I Atlas's color, the deep ultraviolet blue that no comet should produce, defied all thermal models. Blue light signifies temperature. Blue light signifies energy. And yet, the object displayed no decay, no fragmentation, no infrared heat signature. It was emitting light that wasn't heat at all, light that appeared self-generated, like radiation from plasma or ionized gases under control. Some plasma physicists suggest the object might use electromagnetic propulsion, creating thrust by manipulating solar wind itself, technology humans have tested only experimentally. Others think it could be something simpler, the remnant of a machine so old and self-governing that it keeps functioning on instinct long after its creators vanished. If true, then we might not just observe alien technology. We might witness alien endurance, a mechanism still executing its mission after eons in silence. And so the countdown starts. On December 19th, 2025, 3I Atlas will make its nearest approach to Earth, passing at 167 million miles, close enough for every major telescope from Hubble to Webb to image it in unmatched detail. If it's a comet, we'll finally witness the massive gas cloud physics requires. But if no cloud emerges, if Atlas stays the same silent, blue, perfectly compact body it has been, then the whole cometary theory falls apart. What lingers is something far more unsettling. Could it be a probe, an autonomous scout surveying our solar system in an ancient experiment? Or is it something stranger still? A device meant to activate when civilizations like ours hit the nuclear threshold, as some speculative physicists now dread. For now, nobody knows. But every image, every spectral line, every quiet motion in the dark implies one thing. This object is observing, and it may not be finished yet. As the latest images from the Virtual Telescope project circulate through every lab, observatory, and online forum on Earth, one sensation lingers heavier than wonder: unease. The cosmos has delivered another impossible puzzle. And this time, it's gazing right back. 3 Atlas proceeds through the solar system, cold, blue, and silent, challenging every equation we've trusted. It doesn't act like a comet, doesn't resemble an asteroid, doesn't slot into any tidy boxes human science built to comprehend the sky. It accelerates when it should slow. It glows blue when it should shine white. It conceals when it should gleam. It traces a path that seems less like coincidence and more like choreography. And yet, when data comes, it comes with flawless clarity. No noise, no error. As if the universe itself compels us to notice something we've spent centuries avoiding. The more we discover, the less we grasp. Every new image from the Virtual Telescope project only heightens the paradox. The same compact, luminous point of light, perfectly stable, perfectly serene, perfectly alien in its detachment. It's as if the sun can't affect it, as if radiation, gravity, and heat all glide off its surface like light from a mirror. If it's natural, then it's redefining what natural means. If it's artificial, then we've just seen humanity's most profound discovery. Proof we aren't the first under these stars. Either way, the world we believed we knew has changed already. Because the question isn't if this object is a comet anymore. That question perished when it accelerated without a tail. The true question, the one nobody voices aloud, is this: what intelligence crafted something able to journey billions of years through interstellar space, powered by nothing detectable, guided by unexplained precision, and still operate perfectly after eons? What civilization was that? How long ago? Are they out there still? Or are we viewing the drifting relic of their memory? A ghost ship traversing the cosmic ocean, repeating its mission long after its makers turned to dust. Dr. Avi Loeb cautioned us years ago that when science shuns anomalies, it becomes dogma. We can't claim to seek truth, he said, if we accept only truths that comfort us. 3I Atlas is that discomfort, a reminder the universe isn't bound to our theories. It never was. The sun burns without our permission. The stars shine without our approval. And when something invades our skies we can't explain, we're supposed to question, not dismiss. So here we stand again, gazing at another visitor from the dark, and the silence around it feels nearly deliberate. Perhaps this is true first contact, not via radio signals or sky flashes, but through subtle defiance, through quiet impossibilities forcing us to look anew, think differently, evolve. Maybe that's 3 Atlas's lesson. That discovery isn't conquering the unknown, but learning to face it without fear. And now, as December 19th nears, the day it passes closest to our planet, every Earth telescope will focus on it. Maybe we'll finally discern what it is. Maybe we'll see nothing. But whatever occurs, we'll recall this moment, the first in human history a cosmic piece looked back and refused explanation. Because sometimes the universe doesn't whisper secrets. Sometimes it displays them plainly and dares belief. If this tale made you wonder what's truly out there, don't let it fade into noise. Subscribe to this channel because we'll track 3 Atlas until its light vanishes beyond reach. Activate notifications. When new data emerges, you'll know first. And share in the comments, what do you think 3 Atlas truly is? A rock, a probe, or the first message from a civilization that mastered speaking in silence? I'd love to hear what you think about this, so drop a comment below. If you enjoyed our conversation today, please share this video and subscribe to help the channel grow. Every bit of support counts.